Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 3, Episode 6, and today we're back with Halifax for a scrap at the bottom of the table. We're in 23rd, still playing 19th place Tranmere, just 4 points separating the two sides, and a win could take us out of the relegation zone. That hasn't happened yet since we've been here. We've settled in for a month following our joining of the club. We had a brilliant start, but things are just tailing off a little now, and we're hoping as the January window goes on, we'll be given a little bit of help by our new director of football. So we've got to meet him. We've obviously lost our two loan players who went back on the 1st of January, but our director of football's been instantly making a bid for someone else. So we'll go and have a look at who that might be. Hopefully he'll join the club before long. And we'll be able to build our squad in strength again, hopefully giving us enough to survive. Obviously we've got no say in that, so we've just got to cross our fingers here, but we'll see all the players they bid for along the way. And Tranmere, of course, a club that I've got a bit of affinity to now, particularly because of how this helped our podcast. But firstly, before we get into any of that and look at our recent results, a massive thank you to everyone who continues to follow the series. If you are enjoying it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. It does make such a difference to the performance. And if you have no idea what we're doing at Halifax, then click back in the eye above to catch up with the playlist so far. You can see all of the story along the way and pick out the key moments you may have missed. If you're new to the channel, then subscribe for daily FM20 content from 2 long-term stories, including this one. And I'm also part of a podcast that does matchday vlogs and interviews, and we've had a massive success over the weekend with a Tranmere one, that brilliant FA Cup tie they were involved in real life. A massive thank you to everyone that's gone over and watched it. If you haven't already, I'll put a link to it in the eye above. I do appreciate your support with it greatly, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we did making it. But on to today, this is a massive game for us. We've then got Burton at home who are right down there as well. Oldham not far above, so this is a big 3 or 4 games for us. And unfortunately we go into it with a slightly weakened squad. No players missing for injury and suspension, that's the only positive at the moment. But a run of poor results following a good start for us really hasn't helped out too much. So we won that first game against Chesterfield, which you saw last time round. No wins since then, but we've only just had our first league defeat. We lost 2-0 at home to Preston in the leasing.com trophy. No one really cared about that. We put a reserve side out, and then at home to Newport we drew 1-1, late equaliser from Junior the left winger, and then away to Northampton a 1-1 draw again. Isaiah Jones on the right wing getting the goal. He's unfortunately gone back to his parent club now. His loan ended on the 1st of January, and that's part of the problem with being the head coach. You don't get to have a say in that and extend those deals. So he's gone back and now we're a player short today, and there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. We played Bristol Rovers on Boxing Day last time out, a disappointing 2-0 defeat, but they're right up near the top, so you wouldn't have expected us to get a result really. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with the start. But it could go wrong today. We've got a spell of tough games in quick succession, mainly because of the Oldham one being rearranged. That was originally going to be the one between Christmas and New Year, but unfortunately it was a waterlogged pitch. So we're going to have a couple of midweekers in January, and we've got a slightly weakened squad for it as well. But hopefully our director of football can work some magic and be able to bring us in a few players before then. So before we look at the player he's trying to bring in, we better go and have a look at our new director of football. Of course the chairman picked him, you know that from the responsibilities we set up in the last episode, and his name is Mike Mulvey. He's a bit of an interesting one because it's not his first choice of role. He was actually a technical director at previous clubs. He's on £800 a week, a pretty decent contract for him, and he's got some really difficult skills as well. So he's got brilliant judgment of player potential, not very good at judging ability, so I'd expect a lot of young players coming in, particularly with the club culture as well, and maybe that's why the chairman picked him, to pick out good under-23 signings. But most importantly for me, and what I think will help us out in this save, is the fact that he's got good judgment of staff ability, and he's very good at negotiating, so I'm hoping he'll be able to get us better deals into the club, and hopefully make our wage budget stretch further. The first player he's trying to sign is a replacement for Isaiah Jones, almost immediately when the window opened this morning. £475 a week in wages for a Peterborough left winger Aram Solham. He's 22 years of age and he looks very good. His scout report's 99 from Stephen Bywater. Technically he's very strong. He's not too bad mentally, to be fair. Physically he's a little bit weaker, but he's got natural fitness, which is most important. He can also play as a number 10 pretty successfully, and you can see why with his technical ability. And according to the scouts, he's a 3.5 star player, and actually better than Jones, who's just left. So it'd be wonderful if we could get him in. He has got a little knock at the moment, but I'm sure that'll be cleared up before the time he joins. Returning to training tomorrow. Let's see if he's got any transfer history. He's played at League 1 level for Peterborough, era. Only a couple of times admittedly, but he's also had a couple of good years at non-league football as well. So I think he could be a very good signing, and we'll hope he'll come and join us next time round. We'll just have to wait and see if he's part of our lineup in the next episode as we get to the other end of the transfer window. But good to see that he's being active early on. Not much room to play with, but he's trying his best. If we can get 2 or 3 in, I think that'll be enough. We just need a little Stardust quality. So of course we haven't won since the last episode, which means the dynamics aren't looking too great, but bar the last game against the top side, we've been unbeaten in the league, and I really can't expect much more from these lads, so it's a shame that the dressing room atmosphere is poor. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to them soon, or at least get ourselves a positive result today. Let's go and get into this game away at Tranmere, and see if we're able to do just that. It's also FA Cup third round day, of course. The club out of that before I even joined here. I can see my beloved Luton Town playing Ipswich, and all championship clash in that one. So let's hope they manage to get a win and provide as much entertainment as Tranmere did in real life at the weekend. Let's go and have a look at who's the favourites. We're just underdogs as we head to Tranmere actually. Both teams in inconsistent form, but they won their last game, which is crucial, and that's going to give them confidence today, although they have got a few injuries to contend with as well. 2,500 at Prenton Park. They normally get far more than that. That's a little bit harsh on Tranmere. I know they're down at the bottom of League 2 here, but they've always had brilliant support as a club. Derek Adams in charge and a fairly lenient referee today too, so that might suit the home side as well. We obviously don't go diving into tackles. We've had to go a little more defensive today too, not because we want to, but because of the players we've got available and the fact that Isaiah Jones has left the club. So we've got Sam Johnson in goal, now the only good professional keeper here. The backup one, Appleyard, is really poor. 1.5 star ability, not good enough at this level, so let's hope we don't need to call upon him. Hanson's coming at right back, and you can see that's because Duckworth's moved forward. He's the one who's coming for Jones on the right wing. He's dropped to a fullback on automatic for his duty too, as he hasn't got the same prowess going forward. We've got Cerula at left back with Francis and Lomas in the middle, Nolan and Earing in central midfield. Jack Earing's really having a poor time so far. I'm actually going to put him up to a support duty today, just to try and get him a bit further up the pitch and try and get us creating things moving forward. We've got Danny Lloyd in the number 10 role, another player we could do with a replacement for. We have toyed with playing Staunton in the holding role instead, but it really does take away a lot of our attacking threat. And then Junior on the left wing, Duckworth as we mentioned on the right, and we've got Dale Southwell up front. The pressing forward hasn't scored since the first game. We're also going to change Junior to a support duty as he's had a couple of poor games as well. And let's get into it with this 11 picked. Another problem being that we've got a weak bench, which isn't going to help us if we need to change the game. Well, 4-5-1 for Tranmere, and still a couple of familiar names there. Scott Davis, the number 1, he's still at the club. He wasn't playing at the weekend, he was out injured, but a really good player nonetheless. I recognise both fullbacks Field and Pasley. Sid Nelson's still there, as is Manny Monte. 2 of the legends at the club at the moment. Brilliant defensive players who have helped them in their promotions. And then Stephen Payne up front and Corey Blackett-Taylor on the right. That man Blackett-Taylor, he came on in the left wing against Watford in the cup tie at the weekend as part of the matchday vlog. He was the best player on the pitch by a country mile, completely changed the game. He was so positive, must have a decent dribbling stat. He does, he's a much better player than any of our wingers, and I think he's going to be trouble today, and the fact that he's on £3 a week just shows how much more financial muscle they've got than us. But a really good Tranmere squad, a lot of decent League 1 players. I've no idea why they're down near the bottom of the league. We did apply for that job earlier in the season, but unfortunately they went for Derek Adams, so I can understand why they didn't go for an inexperienced manager, but it would have been brilliant for me if I'd got to manage Tranmere. It would have been lovely as we've adopted them as our club in the podcast, but these lads are motivated to go and do well, and for one day only we'll support Halifax instead, and let's see if we're able to nick a result on the road. A long ball forward from Tranmere only finds Hanson. Nolan gets it wide to Duckworth. I wouldn't mind if we could score in the first minute, but unfortunately Gilmore gets the tackle in. It's out for a throw in and there's no danger there, though we are continuing to see the highlight. Hanson's going to take that throw on the right. Down the line to Danny Lloyd, who's drifted wide. Great curling ball with his left foot to Junior, but it's a poor header. He couldn't get enough on it, and he's straight into the arms of Scott Davis comfortably. 2 or 3 minutes gone, we've had the first chance of the match, but it wasn't really any threat to the Tranmere goal, and it remains 0-0 here at Prenton Park. Nearly a quarter of an hour on the clock and we're seeing Tranmere coming forward for the first time. Stephen Payne getting it from a throw-in on the left. Gilmore back to Serafino, plenty of space there. What on earth's the fullback Hanson doing? He was caught inside and he never got close to him, but thankfully the shot was straight at Johnson. Still 0-0 here, both sides had a couple of chances, but it hasn't been a high quality game so far and both sides are probably settled for a point. Well, only 10 to the break, we've really not seen a lot here. Throw into Blackett-Taylor though, flicked onto Stephen Payne, hits the post, it came from nothing. wing, but fortunately it then bounces wide for a goal kick, and we survive with 5 minutes to the break. It's Scott Davis again though, Tranmere really getting on top now. That wasn't the best kick, but it somehow found Serafino. Inside to Gilmore though, Earing does well, goes long over the top, Southwell will chase, we know he can work hard and he's got him one-on-one, but he's proven he's not got the finish though. Straight into the arms of Davis from a gilt-edged chance, and a brilliant chance goes begging before half-time. It's going to be goalless, a decent performance, but Tranmere just about edged the proceedings. Well, we're going to talk to the lads. We'll tell them they've been excellent. They've done as much as we can expect on the road against a very good side. They're competing well, and hopefully they can nick a draw too. We've got 2 players on yellow cards, which we will have to be wary of, and we can make attacking changes if need be, but those attacking players on the bench don't have the same quality, so it would be a downgrade in terms of ability. Long ball forward from the corner. It's not really helped out too much. No idea why I said corner. Of course it was the centre kick, but the highlight ends and it's still 0-0. Cerula with a throw in at left back. He finds Earing the playmaker, having a little bit of a better game in the support duty actually. Finds Lloyd who switches it out to Duckworth. He's going to take on the fullback here. In the end goes backwards to Nolan. That's the problem with having a fullback on the wing. Earing tries to find him again though. He's at the byline now and again he tries to cut back. He's right footed, just whip that ball in the box. He doesn't, and now Payne's in at the other end. He could have cost us a goal. It's a brilliant tackle. I don't know who it was that made that. Payne still gets his shot away. It goes wide of the post, but I think it was Liam Nolan who got back to save the day. We've got a throw on the right hand side. Hanson's going to take it. Plenty of players up there in support. He plays a 1-2 with Nolan and delivers. Header by Southwell which finds Davis. Diving to his right. The keeper makes a good save. Though we've had a couple of good chances so far in this half. Nelson, the centre half for Tranmere though. Out to the danger man Blackett Taylor. Takes on the fullback and cuts inside him. Making it look really easy. Finds Pasley on the overlap. He delivers into the box. Payne shots blocked to Serafino. And he puts it just wide trying to curl it in the corner. We survive, but that is a proper warning sign. You feel like it's a matter of time now. They look so threatening on the break, but it's still 0-0 with an hour gone, and we can think about changes in a moment. Well, throwing at left back for Tranmere, it's Field to take it to Duffy. They've got so much time there, we're not pressing much. No idea why we've got to press him forward on attack. He's not really doing that bit of the game at all, though Lomas intercepts the long ball forward. Nolan out to the right hand side to Duckworth. One of 4 players on a yellow card for us. We've got the players to stay on their feet, so I've no idea where they've all come from. And the ball in the box is absolutely atrocious. Straight into the arms of Scott Davis. He goes for the quick kick to Serafino. Seems to be a bit of a tactic from them. They've taken so many quick goal kicks out to him, but he's intercepted and now Duckworth's got it. Cuts it inside. It's a terrible ball. Somehow finds Danny Lloyd though, and he curls in a beauty from 25 yards. What a finish, Danny Lloyd. I can't lie, I was about to take him off, and Duckworth as well in truth. But now one's got an assist and the other the goal, and we lead 1-0 undeservedly at Tranmere. 15 minutes remaining, it's a free kick on the right for Gilmore. He finds Payne on the edge of the box. Shots blocked by Lomas who heads it away. Finds Duffy on the left wing for the home side. He tries to switch the play. Blackett Taylor, what an effort that was. Rattled the woodwork and came up. 30 yards out on the volley. Unbelievable technique. But thankfully it bounced out off the woodwork, and now we've just got to defend the set piece. Gilmore with the corner and outswinger. Nolan heads away, but it's not completely clear. He'll back to Blackett Taylor 25 yards out. He's certainly been a threat for the home team. Back to Manny Monte and now Garrett. Long ball forward finds Stephen Payne, but Johnson comes flying out and gathers it brilliantly, and we survive still with 12 minutes to go. We're going to go and make some tactical tweaks and some substitutions as well. We're going to drop our wingers to wide midfield areas, bring on Binon Williams on the left hand side, just so we can go a little bit more defensive and support our fullbacks, particularly when they're defending Blackett Taylor. So we've put both of those onto defensive winger roles in support. Cerula's going to drop back to an automatic duty at fullback, and it just gives us that solid base of 2 defensive blocks, and hopefully we'll be able to hang on as a result. I've no idea how we've got so many yellows. It's something that never normally happens to us, but it is the case now. We've got 5 despite staying on our feet, and we've just got to try and see this game out. It'd be a wonderful victory if we can nick it. With 5 to go, I'm going to time waste, bring on the target man up front. Sam Smith replacing Dale Southwell. Just going to try and hold that ball up instead. We don't need him to do too much else. A couple more minutes and then we will make our final sub. Bring on a holding midfielder for Danny Lloyd, just to give us yet more defensive solidity. But of course we could concede before then. Blackett Taylor in from the long ball from Payne. It's blocked but out to Duffy, into the box to Hanson. He does brilliantly to hack it away. You see so many of them sliced in for an own goal, but he gets it behind for a corner kick. Gilmore takes the outswinging delivery. Francis heads away at the far post. It's an onslaught now from Tranmere. How are we still ahead? Blackett Taylor wastes that one. That shot was over the bar. And with 2 more minutes to go, we'll go and make that final change and time waste. So on comes Josh Staunton and for Lloyd, he's had a brilliant game, the number 10, of course scored that winner too. At least we hope it'll be a winner as the defensive midfielder comes on. He's just going to stick in that shape. We're going to change the fullbacks to defensive duty, not even allow them to attack at all. We don't want them supporting anyone, we just want them sitting as deep as possible. We're also going to tell the lads to slow the pace down, no need for them to take any risks out of possession. We'll send our defensive lines a little bit deeper too, just to make sure we don't get done over the top. It's happened a couple of times already when Tranmere have been countering, and we can't afford for that to happen again. Time waste all the time, be more disciplined, play for set pieces as well, and we're going to float the ball in towards our target man, not that we're ever going to get the chance to cross it. 1.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go, full time wasting defensive tactics on. Now let's see if we can hold on for a famous result as the yellow card count has moved up to 6. Well, we're 1.5 minutes into stoppage time and we've got the ball at right back with Hansen, Nolan and Duckworth keeping it, and we've given it away on halfway. You can't do that as an experienced pro. Duckworth concedes possession and Blackett-Taylor's in. Surely he'll score, he doesn't. What a save, Sam Johnson in goal. Unbelievably poor play from Duckworth on the right, and despite dropping our line, we've been beaten over the top. Ball into the box, Johnson again comes and claims. The goalkeeper's had a wonderful day. Maybe he's just trying to tell the director of football, don't worry about my position. I'll be the number one, I'll see you through. There's no need to worry about replacing me. Hansen gets the ball at right back again to Lomas, but look at the pressure on the Tranmere attackers. In the end, Lomas just hacked it out for a throw. He was absolutely devastated. 4 players swamping him, and he just ended up clearing it as quick as possible. Garrett with a throw into Gilmore. Plays a 1-2, beats the fullback. Brilliant play from Jacob Hansen to get back at him. Did so well to win that and block the cross, and gets it away to Duckworth and now Nolan. He finds Lomas who goes long, doesn't find the target man, and it's a long ball forward from Tranmere, but it's headed away, dealt with again. Erin finds Cerula who clears long. Down into the channel, it'll waste a few more seconds. Tranmere with one last chance to pump it forward. To Hill in the centre circle who switches it wide. Garrett's on the overlap on the left. There's 2 in the box, we've got to defend it. Blackett-Taylor at the back post, and the danger man equalises in the 94th minute, and it's heartbreak for Halifax on the road again. It's going to be a draw, a terrible result in the grand scheme of things. We were 30 seconds away from coming out of the bottom 2, and we've got some more defending to do now as well. If we lost it, we would certainly be down. There's no coming back if we throw this away. Sam Smith brings it down as the final whistle goes, and a point away at Tranmere is a decent result, but the nature of it makes it feel like a defeat. Brilliant players on in the end. We couldn't do anything to stop the £3 a week man, and for the second time in 2 different universes, Corey Blackett-Taylor is the hero for Tranmere. We've seen him do it in real life, we knew exactly what the threat was, and he's come in and done it against Halifax today. A decent result, and we've got to tell the lads they did well, because a point is a really decent result, and the performance was pretty strong as well. There's the confirmation then, we stay in the relegation zone as a result of that draw, albeit with a game in hand. We were just a moment away from overtaking Swindon, and we would have been level on points with Chesterfield, but as it is, the gap to Tranmere remains 4, and we stay in that bottom 2 by a point. Carlisle lost again, so they do stay bottom, though they are closing the gap on us slightly, so that game in hand against Oldham and the home one against Burton beforehand, now both going to be very crucial games. I guess the positive is if we do beat Burton next week, our goal difference will take us above them as well, so we'll definitely be out of the relegation zone then, but of course that's far easier said than done. We've got a fine for so many yellow cards. Can you please let me know in the comments how that's happened? We've got players on stay on feet, we never really get bookings, we always win a fair play award, but we've managed to get 6 yellow cards against Tranmere. Maybe it was just desperation in defending. I can see Mulvey's put someone on a coaching course. That's only going to help us in the future. I think it's the under-18s manager there. He certainly needs all the help he can get. But if we go and have a look at the schedule for when we'll next be back, I think we talked about it already. The Swindon game at home at the end of this month. We might make it a double header depending on the transfer window. I've got a sneaky feeling this director of football's going to do a good job though, and hopefully we'll have lots of signings to talk about. The Swindon game's going to be crucial though, as it stands 1 point separates us at the edge of the relegation pack, so it could be an unbelievable 6-pointer at the bottom, and hopefully we'll be able to get a positive result. Fingers crossed we'll have a stronger squad there as well, but if you did enjoy this episode, please put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the performance. The last minute heartbreak against the man we highlighted. We knew he'd be a danger, but we just couldn't see it out, and unfortunately our naivety showed there. What do you think of the man the director of football's trying to bring in? And what do you think of our new director of football, in fact? Do you think he's going to be able to help us get the signings? His negotiating stat's going to be key for me, so I'm hoping he'll be able to bring in 2 or 3, and we'll have a lot of new introductions in the next episode. If you're new to the channel, then subscribe for daily FM20 content from my 2 long-term stories. This one will be back in 2 days' time with that massive 6-pointer at the bottom of the league, and tomorrow we'll be back with Dorking Wanderers again. We've just started another season in that one, and we're really enjoying that one club story. Finally, as you know, I'm part of a football podcast that does matchday vlogs and interviews. The link to the latest vlog featuring Tranmere is in the eye above. A massive thank you to the overwhelming support with it. It's been unbelievable the response we've had to it, and I really do appreciate you watching and liking. It does make such a difference to the video. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support with the series. I really do greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another relegation 6-pointer as we face off against Swindon Town with hopefully a few new signings in our armoury.